Hello, wonderful human beings. My name is Pablo Serrano. I'm doing a quick review on this amazing little full HD old stock 3CCD camcorder. It's an amazing little unit. It's beautiful just for run and gun sort of, fun kind of filming. It's not your run of the mill, amazing quality 4K whiz bang product, but and also it's quite beaten up, as you can see, but it works amazingly well for its age. And I just sold this for 100 Aussie dollars. So here's one little thing. That is a mini USB plug, right? It doesn't look like it should fit in there because it's got those little wings on the bottom, but it fits. And that was a puzzle to work out to begin with. You get a good quality mini USB cable, and you can connect it to this and get the files off the hard drive. So here I am actually just connecting it to my computer. And you'll see for some reason here I tap the screen. It's not actually touch screen, so don't tap the screen as if you'll be able to get any information out of it. And there it is, the Everio HDD, and you'll be able to access all the files directly on the hard drive. 60 gigabytes capacity, this thing. That menu button there is your friend. It's going to get you through majority of the menus in the camera. That auto manual button on the top also is your friend. The cold shoe adapter there on the top, and the two microphones are actually quite usable. They actually give you decent quality sound if you're not too far away. 60 gigabytes, as you can see, 3CCD Everio. The focus assist is there. It gives you the outlines where the focus is happening. Just makes it a little easier if you did want to, because it does have a focus ring. And your secondary memory card goes in there if you want it. It's a 10x optical zoom with an f1.8 right through that zoom range. It's quite amazing. It has a microphone plug here, so in the recordings that I do later on, you'll be able to see that I can plug a microphone into it and get some very clean audio. I suppose that's where the hard drive is. There's your viewfinder and the on and off switch and the mode switch as well. There's photos and videos, and back down to the bottom there, the DC input. This thing has got a full HDMI output. It's crazy for such an old little camera. That A is aperture, S is shutter speed, and bright, I think, is the ISO. And that's how you control it. Auto to manual, flick it onto the manual, and those three buttons on the back there are your friend. Right underneath that is a little switch where you can rocker it up and down. Okay, well, I'm down here at the park and I'm doing a little test recording with the JVC 3C, as they call it. I've got my external microphone plugged in, and I've got the Rode Wireless Go 2 here. So I'm going to edit this in post because I want to balance the audio levels. Like, I'm not certain, whether they're coming in hot into the recorder or not. But I can see a line level. So also it's very windy. I don't know whether you probably are picking that up, even though I've got the microphone's dead cat on. It's only a very small dead cat. It's not really good for this level of wind. So I'm going to largely edit the audio so that it's coming through nice and clear. Probably put a compressor on it and a limiter. That's about it. not going to EQ it because I want you guys to see what the preamps sound like, if there is anything in there, if there is any background noise, etc. But I'm just here and I just want to record the recorder while I'm here, and I'm just going to stitch this together in post. So there you can see me, and the recorder is recording me. You can see, and if I put this directly in front of the lens, hey, that really does give you some lovely bokeh at the back. So at the moment I'm sitting about 1.5 feet away from the recorder, and sorry, the reason I was just filming that is so you can see where the microphone plugs in, just there, and on the video device there you can see when I talk, the little green bar moves up and down. It's not peaking, it's not into the red, so I'm confident that this is capturing good audio. Also want this to be one take, so what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to go behind the recorder and I'm going to start zooming in just to show you guys what the zoom function is like. I'm filming in manual mode. The only thing that's auto is the white balance and the ISO. The shutter speed I've set at 1/2000 in order to have the aperture as closed as possible at 1.8. It's pretty remarkable that a little recorder like this can have an aperture as open as 1.8. So what does the picture look like? I don't know. I'll let you guys be the judge of that. I'm going to get nice and close and just see whether what it's going to focus on, whether it's going to focus on my eyes or just the nearest point. Are we getting some out of focus in the background now? I don't know. I also suspect, because I'm using it in manual and because we're out here in the wild, there's patches of sun that are coming through. What does that look like? I have no idea. Also, then I'm going to just flick it over to record as in fully automatic mode. So we're going to see what that looks like as well. So what I'll do now is I'll just go behind the camera and take a pan around. Just going to zoom in on that. Now this is a 10x zoom, and I do have a fluid head on this, but it's not very well calibrated. Like it could do with a little more. There we go. That's probably roughly where it should be. It was quite loose before. So let's see what these birds down here look like, if I can get them. I don't know, what's that colour look like to you guys? I have no idea. Now we're in full automatic, so see what this looks like. I have no idea what the aperture is right now. It's probably closed up so that it can keep some semblance of a slower frame shutter speed. There's that same truck over there. It does look like somebody's sitting in there having their lunch, so I won't loiter on that site. Back to the birds. What do they look like? I think they do look a little more defined with the automatic, and I think partially that is because the shutter speed, and like if I had a bit more time to really sort of work through this and come up with the best strategy for it, I think I'd do a lot better than this. Now I zoomed right in. I'm just going to see if I can get this magpie down here. Where are you, buddy? There you are. That's pretty nice. I think the footage is quite nice out of this camera, and I think that it's probably suitable for, something like a run and gun interview style camera that you know, on the highest setting, the 1440 CBR, there's still 5 hours of record time on this. So if you wanted to be frugal about it and record a little less information, if you just want to capture, I mean, you're talking 20 to 30 hours of recording on the lowest setting. But for most people, you know, having 5 hours of recording time is probably plenty. So we'll just zoom back out here. And this is going to be difficult because I'm going to ask this camera basically to, I mean, like I look black like a silhouette in front of that bright background. But I wonder how much of this I can recoup in post-production. And also I wonder whether if I had a darker background, so I'll just bring you around this way. Right, I mean, that's looking much better. And, you know, a talking head style, you know, out in the field and recording like this, you know, if it's the sort of thing you want to do, then, I mean, it's not a bad little camera. I like it. I like this little camera. Okay, another test recording. So I'm in the car and I've just literally set the camera up on the passenger seat here. It's not very well fixed in place, but I'm just sort of roughly hanging onto it as well, just so that it doesn't flail around too much. But it's in full automatic mode at the moment. What I'm not seeing though is I'm not seeing any audio levels, so I feel like recording again, and I just want to show you something quickly. I'm gonna just so I found out that it does actually have a little cold shoe mount up the top there, because I'm just about to drive a little bit just to see what it's going to deal with the how it's going to deal with the changes in light that would invariably happen when you're driving. I've just set the camera up on the passenger seat here, and we're just going to go for a drive. So here we go. So at the moment, I mean, you can see it's going through sort of like the gamut of light and not light. You know, how am I exposed? Is it maintaining a good exposure for the main focus point being myself, or is it getting a little dark here and there? You know, there's something about the color profile of these old cameras that's quite what's the word for it? It's nostalgic, right? Like the little imperfections that it captures in the image, like the however it's diffracting or whatever. You know, the that VHS look almost, but it's not the VHS look. It's distinctly a camcorder look. I think it's just quite charming and something that could be utilized as a feature if you are filming a video clip or, you know, some kind of found footage kind of scenario. Yeah, and you know, the fact that you can run audio into it as well just means you've got to do so much less in post-production. You know, it really becomes less about the audio and more about you know, just having like the framing correct and you know, making sure that the lighting is as good as you can get it. I mean, we're being quite rude to that in this respect because we're literally just exposing the camera and in auto mode trying to get it to behave as good as possible. And you can see that sometimes it's taking the exposure levels from the brightest items in the frame rather than exposing for the face, which is again just a part and parcel of, I guess, a product like this that I don't know when these were manufactured, but I guess it would have been a long time ago. I'm thinking circa 2015, you know, if not earlier. So when I set the clock, it did actually say the year was 2009. So, I mean, that's possible. It's possible that these are released in 2009. Anyway, so how's this been so far? Are we happy with the picture? If I do any kind of color grading, and I'm absolutely no expert in that, I can tell you that my color grading probably has as much chance of damaging the footage further than it does of making it better. So, but if I do any kind of color grading, then I will make sure to make a note of that on the film so that you can see very clearly. Okay, well, I'm in a sound treated room at the moment. This is my recording studio, and I'm just testing what the camera is going to give me when I'm, you know, in a studio setting with just some LED lights illuminating my face. Also testing the internal microphone. So this is recording directly to the internal microphone. So I also want to see what that sounds like. And again, the only editing I'm going to do to the sound is just to balance the volume between the two sources when I've got a plugged in microphone. And also I'm doing a voiceover for this as well at some point with some B-roll. So this is what it looks like, I guess, in a studio setting, in a sound treated room. I'll just do a little quick recording on my phone, just to show you guys what I'm cooking with here in the studio. So it's not just these little sort of egg carton things that are happening. I also have actual sound treatment bats throughout. There's a couple more back here as well, one there and one there, and the heavy curtains. Yeah, so this is and of course the mandatory messy studio. Yes, this is, and my incense burning down there. Got to have that good energy. So yeah, in a nutshell, this is the way that this camera operates in this environment.